Season's greetings, everyone. I'm an atheist in case you haven't figured that out by now. One of the questions we tend to be asked this time of year is why or how we celebrate Christmas. Actually, in most situations, we're not actually even asked. We just get reminded that we're not welcome to do so. It's funny because when most people, regardless of their spiritual orientation, are asked what Christmas means to them, they tend to answer with, it's a time to spend quality time with friends and family, resolve grievances, and exchange symbolic gifts. Apparently, atheists to some Christians are excluded from spending time with friends and family, resolving grievances, and if so inclined, exchanging symbolic gifts. It's crazy to think that there are people out there who literally think that these sorts of activities are exclusive to just them. I mean, talk about taking the sex out of jacking off. Now, there are two-faced members of the Christian club who boast the holidays being about celebrating the birth of the religion's mascot, Jesus Christ, hence the name Christmas. But they seem to really express that celebration by basically inviting everyone over to their homes except the birthday boy. I never understood that personally. But getting back to the central question mentioned at the beginning, assuming there are some of you who actually want an answer, how or why do atheists celebrate Christmas? Well, that depends on which version of the question you're asking. Are you asking, how do we celebrate the birth of Jesus? If so, then it's simple. We don't. It doesn't make any sense for us to. We simply just do not do it. The definition of an atheist is simply one who rejects the possible existence of any higher power, normally a deity, but any higher power due to a lack of verifiable evidence. Atheism starts and stops at physical, demonstrable evidence. If no such evidence exists, which so far it does not, then celebrating the assumed birthday of one particular and popular deity makes as much sense as a Jew celebrating the birth of Hitler. In fact, I can easily answer this version of the question with more questions, such as, do you celebrate Saturnalia? Do you celebrate Yule? Do you celebrate Hanukkah? Odds are your answer is no. Yet they all seem to always fall on the same week or the same day as Christmas. However, if you're asking the other version of this question, as in how or why do you celebrate spending quality time with family and friends, resolving grievances, and exchanging symbolic gifts, if I really have to explain to you how these are standard human practices, not exclusive to any one race or belief system, then no answer I give is going to satisfy you. You're going to go right back to the mindset that people like me are not welcome to this sort of tradition and come back with the same question next year. Which means you're not out for an actual answer to this question. You're just out to shame me and others like me every year. It's a form of socialized bullying, and it gets new life every year because people just like thinking the act of sharing and loving can only be reserved to a conformed mindset. And I'm not even sure which is honestly worse, the thought of non-believers engaging in sharing and love, or believers engaging in conformist shame tactics. I think I'm gonna go with the latter. How about instead of asking stupid questions, as I think I just proved this one to be, we instead strive towards a more unionized social upbringing of holiday engagements. Instead of questioning one's legitimate engagement of the holidays, we instead just embrace it with them. I mean, what do you really have to lose if I actually spend quality time with my family? Is this really such an abnormal nuisance to the Savior you claim to be celebrating that also claims to be the symbol of love? And people like this wonder why the thought of spending an eternity in heaven with them turns me off. Point being, don't question one's legitimacy for enduring their loved ones. That's not your place, and that is not your right, it is not your entitlement. Holidays are not about challenging this engagement, they're supposed to be about embracing it, or so I'm told. If you want to celebrate your Savior's hand-picked birthday, go ahead. I don't mind. Me, I'll just continue to celebrate the greatest scientific mind of all time's birthday, Sir Isaac Newton. But I've got my Festivus poll in case the resolving of grievances turns into an airing of grievances.
The tradition of Festivus begins with the airing of grievances. I got a lot of problems with you people. Now, you're gonna hear about it.
Happy holidays, because they're not centered around you, and see you next year.